Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Founders Grid, sponsored by Gaper.io. Today we have Nathan, the co-founder of ForwardLane. Nathan, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, Mustafa. Thanks for having me.
So, give us a brief background about yourself before ForwardLane, what you've been up to, what you've been doing.
Sure. So I have a background in financial services, and I'm also a multi-time entrepreneur. So I worked in investment banking at BNP Paribas and fixed income credits in London, at CQS, which is one of the top 5 large global macro hedge funds globally, and also in an exchange as an enterprise architect. I then went on to start 2 other businesses, one called Hotels by Day, which is a travel technology startup based in New York, and another music business called Songs Fulfillment TV. I started ForwardLane about 5 years ago now, and ForwardLane is really designed around supercharging financial advisors and asset managers with personalized insights.
Interesting. So, what were the early 18 months of ForwardLane like when you're trying to find the product market fit, getting the development done, bringing on the early users, making them stick around? Can you share the early first 18 months when getting the first 5 customers and making them stick was like?
Sure. So we have been lucky to be a part of a number of accelerated programs. We worked with Barclays Techstars in London, and got the chance to work with Barclays Wealth Management for about 3 months, and through that we also met with Thomson Reuters and formulated a partnership with Thomson Reuters, who went on to invest in the company over 2 rounds of funding. So our kind of key takeaways were, going to Techstars, I didn't have enough funding to last through Techstars. So I really had to kind of raise capital as we went along, and trust that we were developing something that's useful. But we did also go through FinTech Sandbox, a FinTech accelerator program based in Boston, and Gene Donnelly and the FinTech Sandbox group provide data access, and Morningstar was also and it still is a significant contributor to our growth. So it's really been through formulating partnerships, that we've been able to develop an enterprise-grade AI platform.
Interesting. And so, what was round raising like, and any 3 pieces of advice would you give to budding entrepreneurs who are just starting out, what to do, what to look for, and especially considering the current times of COVID?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Try and find somebody that is really interested in what you're doing and has experience in your domain. So the people that invested in ForwardLane really understood or felt the problem that we were solving for, which is they're not getting good personalized investment advice and from their financial advisors, and they really believe that things could be done differently. So those angel investors have been tremendously valuable to us over the years. The other aspects I would say too is that coming out of Techstars, we were really in the top percentiles of the group in terms of valuations, and we kind of leaned on valuations that others told us, but it would have been actually easier if we had not really bothered with valuation so much, and actually just focused on raising the capital. And so I would advise other startups to do the same thing. a high valuation when you start out is actually a hindrance. So kind of just work on your product, get the funding in one go, and that's going to be much more valuable to you than having to raise $1 million or $2 million in $20,000 or $30,000 increments.
Interesting. So, and where do you see ForwardLane 3 years from now?
So we've just closed $1.9 million in funding, and we are currently looking to add $1.1 million to that. We are very fortunate to have SCI Ventures and 630 Global FinTech Fund as investors, and that closed in January. So we're looking to close this round of funding. That will bring our total capital raise to close on $8.5 million. And so what we are looking to do is work with our partners, SCI, work with other large firms like Salesforce that we partnered with, and really bring our product to a much wider audience, and kind of scale personalized insights for all. So 3 years time from now, we would look to be in the $100 million to $300 million category. So
Good luck with that. And last question. So everyone has gone remote because of COVID. Everyone is being forced to go remote because of Corona. And so any 3 pieces of advice how to manage remote teams in a better way?
Yes, just be in communication. Connect with people, whether it's clients or people in your network, less formally, and really think about like what is it going to look like when the recovery starts taking place. How do we get out of this? What are the implications for your business, for your clients, for your customers, and where do you want to be at that point in time?
Thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you so much for being on the show. It was lovely having you, but we have to put a hard stop at 10 to 11 minutes, but it was great having you.
Perfect. Thanks, Mustafa.